Hello, Divine Feminine, and welcome to your power message for Sunday. Sending you so much love, and I'm so excited today because George has bought me as a little gift surprise the Star Wars affirmation cards. I'm so excited about these cards because I saw our soul sister Chrissy G from Shine with Chrissy G on her YouTube channel using this deck, and even though I'm not a Star Wars fan, I just fell in love with this deck. And I'm not saying I aren't a Star Wars fan, but I've never really got into it. So you may love Star Wars and you may really just enjoy this reading because I'm going to bring in this deck. But I'm so excited. And, you know, one of our soul sisters a while ago messaged me and said she bought me this deck, but it never arrived. So George kind of knew I wanted it and he surprised me with it. He said, you know, he's been receiving lots of gifts over his birthday, so he wanted to get me something so I didn't feel left out. And I just thought, how beautiful is that? So I'm really excited to be using this deck. I've just opened it. I haven't really looked at it. I'm just excited to, you know, connect with it and see what's going on. So I'm going to give it a little shuffle. We got the guidebook here, the Affirmation Cards guidebook. And, you know, I don't know a lot of the characters. Obviously, you know, I haven't been living under a rock, so I kind of know who people are, but I'm not like a real Star Wars fan. So if any of you are, then this may really resonate with you a lot more because you may feel something from the character or the particular film it's connected with, or, you know, you just may gel with it. I just want to bring in a message today for the Divine Feminine from this deck. I'm feeling it's that one. And I'm loving that it's green. So obviously the colours are different in this deck. And it's my first time seeing it as well. So I'm just really drawn to the green in that card. The green of Archangel Raphael. The green of the heart chakra. The green of the earth. You know, the trees, the grass, the leaves. You know, beautiful. So I feel this a real grounding, powerful energy. It's also really powerful as we move forward, you know, because we're moving forward towards Taurus energy. So, and we're in April now. So this is a real sign of things to come. So I'm really feeling this freshness coming in around this card, no matter what the message is. I'm also going to bring in the Journey of Enlightenment Tarot. Now, I used this yesterday, but we just got one card. So I just want to see what the energy is for the Divine Feminine today. There we go. And I want to bring in this deck, which is the Diana Cooper. These are the Atlantis cards. So what do we need to know for the feminine today, please, angels? And then we're going to bring in the guidebook. But before I do, I've got something to share with you guys. Now, I love how we see signs in things we see, places we go, things we do. And I'm constantly receiving signs about the collective energies in the shows I watch. And I love talking about that when they give me such powerful ones. And, you know, right now me and George are watching Doctor Who, and we're watching the episodes with the Lady Doctor. So it's the later seasons and it's really good. And I was just blown away because last night we were watching an episode and I think it was called Praxis. So it's about this kind of virus that creates changes in the skin and things like that. But the thing is, there was an astronaut in it, and the astronaut was, you know, he was kind of stranded, and his husband, so they're a gay couple, which is also a huge sign about same-sex twin flames as well. So a big sign for you as well here. And you may even get more from this message because, you know, that's what I saw. So obviously this message is for all twin flames, but for same-sex twin flames, especially, you know, men, this is going to really resonate with you. So this astronaut had kind of been stranded. He sent out a distress call to his husband, and his husband came to him. And he was being quite standoffish, and he had this conversation with Graham, and he said, you know, I just thought, wow, it just sums up the divine masculine behaviour. You know, he said, what's the problem? You know, Graham was like, what's the problem between you both? And he said, this is the problem. Look at my husband. He's an astronaut. Do you know how amazing that is? He's an astronaut. And I feel like a failure. Like I'm not enough for him. Like I'm not good enough for him. Because he's an astronaut. Who am I? And Graham was trying to understand what he was saying, but he was kind of saying he punished him. He says, and I've punished him for being an astronaut, for being this amazing person, by pushing him away and acting, unavailable or like I have no emotions, because I just feel like I can't live up to be what he needs me to be. And I was sitting there, it blew my mind. I said to George, that's just the embodiment of what the divine masculine goes through. And, as the episode went on, he was holding hands with, his twin. You could say it was his twin, but that's the way I saw it. But, they held hands, and he turned around and he said to the divine masculine, the one who's holding himself back, he said, my dying wish, if he was going to die, my dying wish is that you don't dodge life. And it was like this energy of touch life, touch it. Don't be afraid to feel. Don't be afraid to show emotion. Just be. And I was blown away. I was like, that's the masculine energy. So I feel this is a huge sign about the masculines realising the worthy of the divine feminine, and the masculine stepping up to meet the divine feminine in a balanced way, so that they can give that emotion and that love and show that love. And, if there is any, male divine feminines watching who are also involved with male divine masculine, so if you are in a same-sex connection and you're both guys, I feel that's definitely an extra sign for you. So if you want to watch that episode of Doctor Who, it's called Praxis. I think it's in season 11, episode 7 or something like that, or close to that, but that's a huge sign. But this is definitely about the masculines wanting to open up, and with this green energy, no matter what these are, this is about the heart healing, the heart opening. So once again, there could be some heart chakra activation taking place right now. So you may be having heart palpitations, flutters, feeling pressure around the area as the heart begins to bloom and grow. And what do we do when we're struggling to breathe or, move or anything? We go in nature because we feel connected with source, we feel alive. Even on George's birthday, we went out for a few hours and we're out in nature, and it just felt so nice to just be outdoors. And even though it was raining, it felt nice to be refreshed and cleansed and breathing in the air. So the message is, look at this, I can do it. I can do it. You can do this divine feminine. Even when it's hard and you feel you're struggling, you can go on. And, I'll give you another film reference. If you think about Supergirl, okay, you may have watched the show Supergirl, but I'm going back to the film years ago, it's like an 80s film, I think. And you've got Faye Dunaway, who played kind of the baddie in that. And I think it was Helen, someone who played Supergirl. But there's a bit in there where she gets thrust into the Phantom Zone. And she's in the Phantom Zone, so she's lost her powers. It's this awful place. And, everything's pretty much dead there. And there's, just black slime everywhere. And it's not very nice. And there's this kind of spinning whirlwind, that you can get out if you get past this spinning whirlwind. And obviously got this fast wind, and it takes a lot of strength to do that. And she meets in the Phantom Zone one of her old gurus. I think his name is Zoltar or something like that, Zoltan, or I can't remember what his name is. But anyway, he says to her, you can go on, you can fight, you can do it. And she's going, she's trying to crawl out of this Phantom Zone, and she's getting to the top, and she's nearly there, and the storm's coming at her, and she feels like she can't go on. Think about the lighthouse, the storm, the sea, and she's trying to get out, and she says, I can't. And she is this voice of him, her guru, saying, you can do this. And she gets out. And once she's at the top, if her powers come back, and she flies out of this Phantom Zone, and she goes and defeats the evil. And this is what I'm feeling for you. You can do this. And, even when I'm looking at the picture, and I haven't read what it says yet, but, you've got Yoda in here. Okay, and what I'm really feeling, this is really powerful, because, whatever this particular bit of the film is, which I really don't know, but you could see there, Yoda is trying to, this is what I'm seeing intuitively, so I'm sure it's something totally different, is trying to pull this person out. And what I'm seeing this as, rescuing, like we listen to the words of our gurus when we feel we can't go on. So like Supergirl was trying to get out of the phantom zone and she heard the voice of her guru saying, you can. And that's what I'm seeing here. And the fact that he's also upside down is a lot like the Hanged Man in the tarot. So remember, when there's delays, we receive guidance from our guides, from our angels, from our gurus, from readings we watch or anything we are shown. So we realise that the delays are necessary for enlightenment purposes. And the message says, nothing is impossible. If I refuse to give up, eventually trying will become doing. So it's like, Yoda says there is no try. There is no try. There is no try. I've got Yoda here, and I say I'm not a Star Wars fan, but I love Yoda. Well, I think this is The Mandalorian, but I haven't seen, I've seen the old films, but I can't remember them as in what happens, or, I just remember things like Luke Skywalker fighting with Darth Vader and things like that. So I haven't seen any of the newer ones, and maybe you have, and this is a sign for you. But, it's like your guru today is saying, I can do it. You can do it. Nothing is impossible. If I refuse to give up, eventually trying will become doing. So this is saying, don't give up, keep going. Keep going. Look at little Yoda's ears here. Keep going. Keep striving forward towards what you want. And that will actually bring in contentment. And I love this because we've got the waterfall, which is about the flow of life, cleansing energy, purity. We've also got the beautiful flute there, and the flute brings in calming energy. And we've got the purple colour there of Archangel Jeremiah, reminding us we're all on the right path. And you've got, what you could see there as a goat, or you could see there as a sheep or a lamb. But I'm actually seeing there as a goat for adventure. So the message says, in golden Atlantis, everyone was honoured. Everyone was honoured. So there is no, I'm better than you, or you can do this better than them. Everyone was kind of on the same level and honoured for who they are. They were happy to be themselves, so they all enjoyed a sense of deep peace and well-being. Be yourself. Now, isn't this powerful when the psychic daily reading from the I Can Do It calendar today is all about individuality and uniqueness, and knowing that makes it fun and interesting. So it says that find a deep sense of peace and well-being, knowing that you are you, and be happy to be you. You don't have to be anybody else or try and compete with anybody else, because there's plenty to go around and you can't miss out on what's meant for you. And they give me fear. Deep fears, because maybe the fear is about standing up to your family and saying, this is who I am. This is what I want in my life. I don't want to do it your way. I want to do it my way. Or maybe it's the fear of leaving that job and going full-time in the job that you want to do, even if you've been moonlighting on the side. It's that fear of breaking free, because the ego will bring in the what-if scenarios. Or thinking, well, if I don't do this, my masculine might not like me or love me or come to me if I don't do it that way. So it's about trusting that when you're being you and you're being authentic in yourself, the right people will come to you, the right opportunities will find you, and magic will take place. Every individual in Atlantis was encouraged to develop his or her gifts and talents and use them to do what they loved the most. And that's what we are guided to do as spiritual beings, to work on our gifts and talents and use them to help the world. Because when we do that, we feel contentment. We feel a sense of security, a sense of fulfillment. There's nothing nicer than helping someone and feeling the gratitude returns. Because and it's what you're giving out, you get back. So when you're helping others from a genuine place, it's returned to you times 1,000 million. You get it back. This produced a feeling of true contentment, because their offerings to the community were selfless, and they also experienced the satisfaction of working for a vision beyond the self. And that's true, because we work for God in a way, or the universe, the higher power, whoever you believe in. So we have a mission, And that mission is coming from a higher place. And that's why we receive such amazing rewards and satisfaction, because when we're doing what we love and we're operating in the light and we are sharing that light, we are given. You know, when we do God's work, we are provided for because God is our source. So the cards suggest it's time to experience a well-deserved feeling of satisfaction. So the angels are saying to you today, be proud of yourself. Be proud of what you're achieving, what you've done so far, how far you've come, and feel that deep sense of satisfaction because it's well-deserved. Don't think, oh, there's more to do, or, you know, beat yourself up about what you haven't yet done. Be proud of yourself, Divine Feminine, and accept yourself as you are and acknowledge all your good qualities and gifts. And then breathe in quiet contentment. Breathe in and release. So you breathe in that contentment that's quiet. That means you're not bragging about anything or needing to speak about anything. You just feel it. And you breathe in the tranquility of the power of the now. So even if there's quiet times, you learn to be at ease with things and feel easy about things and be at peace. And this will enhance your feelings of well-being and attract more harmonious situations to you. So the message is, be content as you are. Be content as you are during the delays, the silence, the separation. When you're trying to get out of that phantom zone, you have power from above. And we've got the Seven of Pentacles. This is a great card to come out. So, you know, the Seven of Pentacles is that desire, you know, being fulfilled because you are able to manifest it. So it's about setting intentions and thinking about what you want, but also allowing those things to manifest without pressure. So you're not constantly watching or thinking or trying to get, you know, because when we watch a kettle boiling, for example, it doesn't seem to boil. Or when we're looking out the window waiting for someone to come, they never come. You know, but if you step away from the window, they come. Or if you step away and do something else, before you know it, the kettle's boiled. So it's about remembering that while the universe is doing its thing, you do you. And feel at peace with that. And that brings in power. Amazing. So, again, they give me fear being released. So, yeah, fear. So again, these cards are amazing. They're split into colours. Just look at this deck, and each colour has got a certain thing on it. So what I'm feeling with this is, you know, this is definitely an affirmation to use. I can do it. I can do it. You know, just keep saying it today. I can do it. I can. And that this is well-deserved feeling. So, you know, when you're going through struggles, just think about Supergirl getting out of that phantom zone. And if you want to watch the film, you know, I think it's still available somewhere. But it's the 80s film, Supergirl. It's really old now, but it's amazing. With Helen in. Helen, I can't think what her name is. But, you know, she was Supergirl in it. And I'm focusing on what I'm doing and try and grab this. She was Supergirl in it, and Faye Dunaway was the baddie in it. Yeah, I can just visualise it in my mind, but it's really good. Honestly, it's so good. Even though it's an old one, it's a good one. It's really good. And they live in, like, Selena, who's the baddie. They live in a ghost train. It's really good, honestly. You've got to watch it. So the message today is right today. Right today. Now, it means right as in write things down, but I'm feeling this as well as right today. Get right with yourself today. Get right with your situation. And write down anything that's on your mind. You know, if you write down gratitude or things you're going through, write today. It says, thought for today, I write expressing myself with words that are inspired by spirit and blessed by the angels. I allow myself to record messages from the heart. So you may want to carry a notepad with you today if you're going out especially, or keep a notepad with you if you're at home, because you may just get divinely guided, inspired things to do or know. You know, like I'll get little things coming to me and I'll write them down because I think I need to share that, or that's an idea for something I'm doing, or, you know, because it comes from a place high up. You know, sometimes when I'm in the shower, I'll receive guidance about the type of reading I need to be doing or the type of messages I need to be sharing. And as soon as I get out the shower, I come downstairs in my towel and write them down, because I know that as soon as I get on with doing list things, it's going to go out my head. So write them down. You might even have done that in the past where you think, I wish I could remember what I thought. But it's gone away for a reason, remember. So if you're meant to remember it again, you will. But a great thing to do is carry a notepad around, even a tiny small one, just so if something pops in your mind, you can write it down. The written word is a wonderful means of self-expression, teaching, and even learning. And I really feel there's power in the written word itself. Instead of typing, getting a real physical pen and writing down, because you're using your handwriting and, you're thinking about what you're doing. A lot of the times when we're typing, we type that quick, we can get typos, then we have to delete things. It isn't the same energy. It's also a way to connect with heaven through the process of channeling information from the divine. You've probably had many clues throughout your life that writing is part of your nature and purpose. This is a message for you to take time today to sit down and pick up your pen. And it's a lot like, things we do at school. We have spelling tests, and spelling, we learn how to spell. Think about it, we learn how to spell. So we may be thinking about spelling connected with making sure words are pronounced properly or written properly. But spell is reminding you words have power, whether they are written or spoken, like a spell. We speak words and they can harm or heal. That's a spell. Or we can manifest with I am creation energy, which seems like a spell. So in other words, we are magical beings, and that has power. The process of writing opens you up to receiving new ideas and information. You tap into your inner teacher as well as the wisdom of the universe. So don't worry about what your topic will be. Simply sit down in front of your computer or notebook and begin transcribing anything that comes to mind. So, if you're writing a book, for example, which has to be on a typewriter or a laptop or your computer, just sit there and allow it to flow. But if you're thinking about gratitude or writing ideas down, do with a notepad and a pen, because there's something magical in that. It's okay if your words don't make sense or you begin with unclear thoughts or feelings. The direction of your writing will become plain once you get started. Some people do automatic writing where you sit there and you connect with the angels, or you connect with spirit, or whoever you're connecting with, and you may get your pen and your piece of paper and just start kind of, making a zero. Because when you do a zero, when you're connecting with automatic writing, it's the way the universe is speaking to you. And then you just may start writing things down, things that just flow to you. I kind of do it with my voice through speech, because I have no idea what I'm talking about most of the time, because most of it's coming from above. Apart from me, I don't know, the words are there. It's like this reading. I kind of have an idea what I've spoken about, but I'm not sure if that makes sense. And sometimes I don't even know what I'm talking about at all. And I think, did that even make sense? But I know the right person will hear it. And that's why I will never edit any of my readings ever, apart from if something happens and I have to stop the camera, because it's all authentic and you'll get something from all of it. That's why I also shuffle pick a piles on camera instead of just saying, here are your piles, pick your pile, because I like to do it all from scratch to show you, because you may pick up on a certain something that someone else may not pick up on, because bits of things are given to you in many ways. Make this activity a part of your life if possible. Turn it into a daily habit. We angels will help you overcome confidence issues and guide you if you ask. Take time today to write and notice the emotional and self-esteem benefits that result. So I feel there's definitely some budding authors out there. I know there's definitely a few of you who've already written books, or, you've already been published, or you've got books ready to be published. I've certainly got a book in my mind that it's been there for so long, but it's getting the time to write it and getting the time to get it into some format. And I know how hard that is, especially if you've got a full-time job or you've got kids or all these other things. And the angels are really saying, Archangel Gabriel is saying, we need to be making the time. There's like so many decks of cards. I want to create this year, and so many things I want to do, but it's finding the time. So the angel's saying, you've got to sort your schedule out so it suits you. Call on the angels, you're not alone. So if you're thinking, I've wanted to write this book in my mind for so long, now is the time. Even if you just start penning a few things down or some ideas, and it eventually will become what you need it to be. But today affirm, I can do it. Maybe you're thinking, I can't write that book. Why would anyone read it? Can I really, share things that people want to know about? And the answer is yes, you can do it. Nothing is impossible, which means I'm possible. The word itself, impossible, says I'm possible. Nothing is impossible to God. Okay, with God, all things are possible. So say, if I refuse to give up, and what I try to do, I will do. Even though Yoda says there is no try. In other words, don't try, do. I hope this helps. Have a great day, and I'll see you soon.